Hello viewers, welcome to Readalicious. Today we listen to a folk tale from Tamilnadu named Magic Vessels. It has been retold by author Vayunaidu and the pictures illustrations are done by Mugdhashah. This folk tale was first published in 1999 by Tulika Publications. Folk tales are stories told by people to others, often over generations. Author of this book, Miss Vayunaidu, is a research scholar at the University of London. She has done her PhD in culture and storytelling. Pictures or illustrations are done by Miss Mugdhashah. The illustrations are endearing and captivating. These include the terracotta horse sculptures, intricate column patterns, urali, lavish spread on plantain leaf, and such others depict the culture and traditions of Tamil Nadu. So without further ado, let's begin the story and enjoy listening. Muthu and Chelam lived under a banyan tree with 11 children. Muthu was a playwright. He wrote many plays. The people in the village loved his plays, but every time he made a little money, someone always borrowed it from him. Chelam worked hard too. She cooked and cleaned in people's homes to put together a meal of sorts for her little ones. She also worried about the future. Muthu, she said, our banyan is okay so long as the children are small. But what will we do when they grow taller? Why do we need a house, Chelam? He replied. After all, banyan has looked after us so well for so long. It will always take care of us. Stop worrying. And he went back to writing. However, Chelam continued to worry. So one day, after the sun rose and the cock crowed, Chelam put some old cooked rice into a small pot, tied it with cloth, and gave it to her husband. Here, take this, she said. Promise me you will try and earn some money this time. Okay, Muthu replied. I'll do my best. After all, Chelam worked so hard to take care of all of them, thought Muthu. So off he went through the forest. How beautiful, Muthu said to himself as he saw the orange butterflies settling like flames on the creepers. Bees hummed. Yay! I can catch the sun! He laughed as he cupped his hands to hold the sunlight dancing between the leaves. Coo! Coo! Koyals called in the distance. Suddenly, Muthu came to a groove and try as he might, going this way and that, he always ended up in the same spot from where he started. The trees all seemed alike, and every path looked like another. I am lost, Muthu exclaimed, as he hung his pot on a branch. And I feel so sleepy. The stream nearby rippled a haunting tune, and before he could rest his head comfortably on a pillow of leaves, Muthu was fast asleep. Now, in this forest lived little tree spirits. When they saw Muthu, They floated down from the branches, giggling and chattering. "Look," said one, pointing at the pot. Eagerly they took down the pot and undid the cloth in which it was tied. A stale, sour smell wafted to their noses. The tree spirits knew all about idli, masala dosa, sambar and Mysore pak. But this green frothy thing was new. They chorused with great delight. In no time at all, they licked the pot clean. After some time, Muthu awoke. He was hungry, but the pot was empty. "Oh, what shall I do now?" he cried. Suddenly, near his foot, he saw a shining golden thing. "What's this?" he said, and pulled it out of the earth. It was a small brass vessel. "If only I could have at least this much to eat," he thought. Immediately, down from the trees came the spirits. They spread a plantain leaf in front of Muthu. One spirit served him pickle, another served him chutney, then steaming rice and ghee. Golden brown sambar was poured on the rice. It smelled so good. "Eat, friend," the tree spirit said. Muthu ate and ate. "That was great," he said, licking his fingers when he finished. But when he looked up, the tree spirits had disappeared. Muthu looked down at the vessel. "That's for you," soft voices said from the trees. "It's magic vessel." "Oh, thank you, beautiful creatures of the forest," Muthu said, and hurried home. It was evening. He could hear his hungry children crying. Muthu put the vessel down in front of his door under the banyan. He lit a lamp, folded his hands and said, "I wish my wife and children could sleep on full stomachs tonight." From the branches of the banyan trees, spirits came down. They scrubbed the children clean. They oiled their hair and made them wear crisp new clothes. Then they fed them. The children ate so much and so well, they fell fast asleep right where they were sitting. The next day, Muthu and Chelam threw a feast for everyone who had given them food when they had none. "We are going to eat in a poor man's house. Better eat before going," the village folk said to each other. But what a surprise! The tree spirits gave them a meal fit for the gods. Delicious rice preparations, lots of mouth-watering vegetables, a variety of chips and pickles, and an array of colorful sweets in different shapes was served to the guest. When some of them tried to slip sweets into the folds of their saris and lungis, the tree spirits wrapped them on their wrist. "Whatever you eat here," they said. Muthu and Chelam were the talk of the village for days. The richest man in the village was the silk merchant, Kuppuswamy. Muthu had done many plays in his house, But never once did Kuppuswamy give Muthu and his friends either meal or money. Kuppuswamy got terribly jealous when he heard of Muthu's good luck. He too wanted a magic vessel. I will take a huge pot of lemon rice for the jungle creatures. They will give me a huge vessel in return, he thought to himself as he set out on his buffalo cart. He came to the grove and went round and round in circles, just as Muthu had done earlier. Ayyo, what is this? My head is spinning, he said. Suddenly, Kuppuswamy heard the music of the stream. I'll pretend to sleep, he said, and lay down. He was soon snoring. The tree spirits saw what was happening and nodded to each other knowingly. They looked at the mountain of lemon rice and chuckled naughtily. When Kuppuswamy awoke, there in front of his eyes was a huge vessel, an uruli. Ha! He said, gloating to himself. A big vessel for a rich man. The uruli was very heavy and Kuppuswamy had a hard time lifting it. Somehow, he managed to push it into the cart. The buffalo groaned and it dragged the silk merchant and his newly won uruli home in the hot sun. As soon as he reached home, Kuppuswamy dispatched a drummer into the village with an announcement. Come one, come all, the man said. There is a feast in the silk house tomorrow. Be there or miss the treat of a lifetime. The people said to one another, in a poor man's house, the food was so tasty. In a rich man's house, it will be better. Better starve, so we can eat our fill there. The village folk wore their best clothes and gathered outside the silk merchant's house. They looked hungrily at the magic vessel displayed proudly outside the house by Kuppuswamy. The rich man Kuppuswamy cleared his throat and declared, I wish my guests have a meal they will never forget. So, we end the story here because what happens next in the story? Do the guests have a meal at Kuppuswamy's house which they would never forget? You can read rest of the story from your local library. Borrow a book from the library and please do read it. After reading the story Magic Vessels from your local library, I am sure you would be interested to know more about the state of Tamil Nadu